उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So from here we are seeing in this part of the Srimad Bhagavatam a very dramatic things will unfold. So it has started now. Mother Sati, she gave up her body in the sacrificial arena of her father Prajapati Daksha. Looking at this, the followers of Lord Shiva who had come along with Mother Sati to give her protection, they were all bewildered looking at this. They were unable to protect the wife of their master Lord Shiva. So they planned to give up their life. But before giving up, let us kill Daksha. That was their intention. And they proceeded towards Daksha to kill him. But because of the interference of Bhrigu Muni, who by chanting certain specific mantras from the Yajurveda and offering oblations to the southern part of the sacrificial fire, he created innumerable Ribu Devatas who were meant to destroy those who were up to obstructing the sacrifice. So these Ribu Devatas went around and they chased away all the followers of Lord Shiva. So when this happened, this news that Mother Sati is now no longer present. She is no longer there. And all the associates of Lord Shiva are driven away from the sacrificial arena. So this news was given to Lord Shiva by Narada Muni. When Lord Shiva heard this, he becomes very angry. This we saw in the previous verse. He becomes very angry, extremely angry, pressed his lips with his teeth. You can try this. Pressed his lips with his teeth and immediately snatched from his head a strand of hair which blazed like electricity or fire. So he plucked out just one strand of hair which was like electricity or fire. He stood up at once, laughing like a madman, dashed the hair to the ground. So he plucked the hair from his head and dashed it to the ground. Then what happened? A fearful black demon as high as the sky, so tall demon he created, and as bright as 3 suns combined. One sun itself, we will not be able to look at him. It is so dazzling. So 3 suns combined, that was the brightness of his body. So Lord Shiva created such a demon. His teeth very fearful, and his hairs on his head were like burning fire. So his teeth was very fearful and his hairs were burning like fire on his head. And he had thousands of arms. And each of those arms were equipped with various weapons. Thousands of arms, and each of those arms equipped with thousands of weapons. And he had one nice garland. What kind of garland? It was not a flower garland. And he was garlanded with the heads of men. There was a garland around him with the heads of many men. That was the garland he was wearing. So such a fearful demon, as bright as 3 suns, as tall as the sky, very fearful teeth and other bodily features, wearing a garland of the heads of men. Such a demon was created by Lord Shiva just by plucking out one hair from his head and dashing it on the ground. And that demon's name is Veerabhadra. So this Veerabhadra, so now he is born out of the body of Lord Shiva. So this Veerabhadra, as soon as he appears with folded hands, that's what we see here, Baddhanjalim Bhagavan Bhutanataha. O Lord Bhutanatha, O Lord Shiva. He is asking Lord Shiva with folded hands, Baddhanjali. Tam kim karomi ti granantamaha. O my Lord, what shall I do for you? What should I do? Just like a obedient servant asking his master, O master, what shall I do for you? So Veerabhadra is asking Lord Shiva, O Lord, what shall I do? So then, what did Lord Shiva say? What orders did he pass? Daksham sayagnyam jahi madbhatanam tvagmagrani rudra bhatam shakome. Madbhatanam tvam agrani. Lord Shiva had innumerable associates. We had heard about it in the previous verses, in the previous chapter. All the guhyakas, the ghosts, hobgoblins, many thousands of associates. They had all accompanied Mother Sati when she went to her father's place. Now Lord Shiva is telling, Oh my dear Veerabhadra, you are the Agrani, the chief of all of my Madbhatana, my associates or my soldiers. So now, Daksham Sayagnyam Jahi. Go to the place of the sacrifice. The sacrifice where Lord, like Prajapati Daksha is performing the sacrifice. Go there and Jahi Daksham and kill Daksha and his soldiers. Kill Daksha and his soldiers at this sacrifice. So this was the direct order given by Lord Shiva to Veerabhadra. Go to the sacrificial arena of Daksha and kill Daksha and all of his soldiers. So now this order is given by Lord Shiva. Taking this order of Lord Shiva, what did Veerabhadra do? So that let it be a suspense, we will not discuss about it. In the next verses, in the next classes, we'll be seeing that. Let us focus on some important points, what Srila Prabhupada tells in the purport. Srila Prabhupada here speaks about competition. There is competition. Specifically, of course, the entire material world is filled with competition. It may be in the not only human beings, even animals, all living entities, they also compete, but their competition is limited to eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Just like every day, night time, so many dogs we hear barking. Not just once, some 3-4 times in a single night time, and our securities will keep chasing them. What's happening there? Some competition is going on. Either it may be for some food, or for some place of shelter, or for some mating partner. So like this, they also compete, and their competition, fighting and barking and biting and all of those things will happen there. So similarly, amongst human beings also, we find there is competition. One person trying to compete, usually it happens for name and fame, for prestige, for some scarce resources. We find a lot of countries fighting with each other. Some oil reserves are there, something valuable is there. One country goes and captures another country. And when this competition is there, just like in the current day, it's happening. So one big country goes and tries to capture another country. Another bigger nation comes for its protection, and fearful war takes place, and missiles and all of those things. So these are all competitions centered around for power, for some resources. So all of these things we find. So similarly, here we see there is competition between Brahma Tejas and Shiva Tejas. Prabhupada says, here is the beginning of competition between Brahma Tejas and Shiva Tejas. By Brahma Tejas, Brahminical strength, Bhrigu Muni had created the Ribu demigods who had driven away the soldiers of Lord Shiva. When Lord Shiva heard that his soldiers had been driven away, he created the tall black demon Veerabhadra to retaliate. There is sometimes a competition between the mode of goodness and the mode of ignorance. That is the way of material existence. So here, this is the way of material existence. Sometimes mode of goodness will be prominent, and sometimes the mode of ignorance will be prominent. So here, Bhrigu Muni, representing the Brahminical power or the Brahma Tejas, by chanting some specific mantras through his personal power, he was able to create the Ribu Devatas who had driven away the soldiers of Lord Shiva. Now, Lord Shiva created this black, dark, fearful demon, whose appearance is fully like a demon, known as Veerabhadra, who was sent to attack all the, not just the Ribu Devatas, the soldiers there, but even their, the chief, their Prajapati Daksha, and to destroy the sacrificial arena. And of course, later in this part, in this chapter, we see how Veerabhadra was successful in executing the orders of his master, Lord Shiva. So, in this way, this competition keeps going on. So, here, the competition between mode of goodness and mode of passion, sometimes mode of goodness becomes prominent. At the end of the previous chapter, we saw when Bhrigu Muni created all the Ribu Devatas and they drove away all the Bhutaganas, it appeared as if Yes, he was successful, he was the winner. But now in this chapter we'll see they were put down and the demon, like Veerabhadra and all the ghosts, they became successful. So such competition keeps going on in this material world. So let us try to understand from the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita some important verses which speaks about this competition between the three modes of material nature. Just one portion of this I'll read. So we are all aware that the 14th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita specifically deals with the three modes of material nature. So very elaborately, different various qualities, the person afflicted by each of these three modes, what are their qualities, how will they act, what will be their aspirations, their goals, all these things in detail it is given. Just one portion, let us try to understand. 14.6 Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena bhadnati jnana sangena chanagha. So the characteristics of sattva guna, what is that? It is the purest, it is very pure, it is illuminating, bright, like light, illuminating. And sattva guna will free us from sinful reactions, from sins. There is no sin. Sattva guna means no sinful activities. But this also binds a living entity. Binds him with what? A sense of happiness, a sense of knowledge. So a person in sattva guna, he is also bound in this material world with a sense of happiness and with a sense of knowledge. Okay, at least this is okay. Just like, for example, see a man, good family man, very much into helping others, giving charity, taking care of his family nicely, earning money with good not doing any cheating business or whatever. He's contributing to the society, following all rules and regulations, and he's fully satisfied with his position. But Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, this is also a bondage. We have seen big philosophers, scientists, poets. They're all in sattva guna. They don't harm anyone, highly knowledgeable. They'll follow all rules and regulations. They're satisfied with their condition, but no devotional service to Krishna. So this sense of happiness, this sense of knowledge binds them to this material world. Then what to speak of Rajoguna? What Krishna says? Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Karma sangena dehinam badnati. A person in Rajoguna, he is bound by karma sanga or fruitive activities. I will work hard, very hard, earn a lot of money, and I'll spend my hard-earned money in purchasing the best of the cars, the best of the house, all kinds of luxury. I'll become the most respectable man. Everyone should honor me. See, with all these gross and subtle material desires, he works very hard in the material world. We have seen many very shrewd businessmen of this specific nature. So this is Rajoguna. This is the bondage created by Rajoguna. Work very hard, earn money, and spend it for sense gratification. And it doesn't end there. Kama, it doesn't get satisfied. You want more and more of it. Greed will be there. If it is not satisfied, your anger will come. you'll indulge in many sinful activities. It binds us to this material world. Papa, punya, all of these things, and you'll have to remain here. And then, what about tamoguna? Tamastu ajnana jam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidrabis tanni baddhati bharata. The tamoguna binds a living entity. How? A person will become more inclined to madness, laziness, and more sleep. So this is how the tamoguna acts on a person. Srila Prabhupada tells about the hippies, drug addicts. They're all into such things, fully into tamoguna. So that's another kind of, a worst kind of bondage. And then Krishna says, Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata jnanam avritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. So Krishna concludes by saying, all the three modes of material nature, they bind a living entity. Srila Prabhupada gives this example. The sattva guna, that's also a shackle, but it may be a golden shackle. Shackles, whatever it is, put into handcuffs. It may be a golden handcuff. Oh, someone is coming and the police will come catch you and put a golden handcuff. Golden handcuff is there. Will anyone be happy with it? So it's also binding you, restricting your freedom, though it may be made of gold. And Rajoguna, it is compared to a silver shackle, and Tamoguna, iron shackle. But all the three are shackles meant for binding us. This we need to understand. And of course, it may be sometimes that iron shackle, as time passes, because of its condition, it becomes rusted and all of these things. It may sometimes break also. But the golden shackle, it will never break. Just like in Kali Yuga, that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the worst of the population are sent in Kali Yuga. The most fallen, degraded people we find in Kali Yuga. So for them, to uplift them, the Lord is very merciful, Patita Pavana. He comes and through a simple process, He uplifts them. So such things happen sometime. But Sattva Guna, golden shackle, very difficult to overcome. And then Krishna says, Rajas tamas chabhibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata rajas sattvam tamas chaiva tamas sattvam rajas tatha. So here is where Krishna speaks about the competition between the three modes of nature. How this happens? Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. This is how the material world is designed. There is always competition for supremacy of each of these modes. That is why we find sometimes the demoniac people, they become very strong. So we have heard through Bhagavatam how when Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, they were born, all kinds of bad omens. Ignorance was predominant. And in the same Bhagavatam it is described how at the time of the appearance of Narasimhadeva, mode of goodness was prominent, subduing the mode of passion and ignorance. Similarly, there is another very nice story, a little part of the story I will tell, how there is a story of Shiva Jwara and Vishnu Jwara. There was a competition, a fierceful battle, whatever fratricidal battle ensued between Lord Krishna and Banasura. It happened so that Banasura was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and he had satisfied Lord Shiva through his 1000 hands. He had got 1000 hands, and through his 1000 hands, by beating on the drums when Lord Shiva was dancing Tandava Nritya, he was beating the drum, and Lord Shiva was very pleased with him. And he asked him, "What do you want? You please become the protector of my city." His city, capital city, was Shonitapura, and Lord Shiva agreed for it. And after some times, this Banasura, he felt himself very friendly, intimate with Lord Shiva, and he just one comment he passed. You see, 1000 hands you have given. It has become so much burdensome for me. There is no one equal to me in fighting. With everyone I can defeat anyone and everyone. This 1000 hands has become a burden for me now. Lord Shiva becomes very angry and he says, "Wait for some time, a day will come when all your 1000 hands will be cut off and you will fall at the ground." And this happened. And this Banasura had one beautiful daughter by name Usha. She was very attractive, and this daughter of Banasura, one fine day she had a dream. A very young, beautiful boy appeared in her dream. And this dream continued for many successive days. She was constantly thinking about him. And one day, all of a sudden, that person, when she was sleeping in her dream, he disappeared. And all of a sudden, she woke up and crying out for him. And surrounding all her other friends, her associates, her servants are sleeping with her. And she became very much agitated. And one of her friend, very close, intimate friend by name Chitralekha, she had got many mystic powers. She spoke to Usha. "See, I could make out, tell me the truth, what happened? What's happening with you?" And this daughter of Banasura explains all this story, that from many days I've been dreaming of one very young, very beautiful, attractive boy. So I want him. So this Chitralekha, she was very mystic, and she started drawing the paintings, the sketch of many great men of the entire world. Great kings, the Gandharvas and heavenly celestial beings, and all those drawings, they were rejected. No, not this person, not this person. And finally, one painting she took up and she showed it. "This is the person who came in my dream." And Chitralekha could see that painting, which she had asserted, and it was the painting of, anyone knows? Aniruddha, yes, was the grandson of Lord Krishna. Krishna's son Pradyumna and his son Aniruddha. So now Chitralekha took up the task. "Okay, don't worry, I'll get him for you." So she had some mystic powers. All the way she flew to Dwaraka, and when Aniruddha was in his quarters taking rest, night time, she took him through her mystic powers and brought him to Shonitapura in the interior quarters where Usha, where she stayed. Both of them became very close, intimately connected. Then after some days, the soldiers guarding the palace, especially the inner quarters where it was only restricted for women, they were able to make out through the bodily features of the daughter of Banasura, Usha, and through all the activities going on there may be some man who is there inside, whom Usha, she is associating with. Immediately the news was given to her father, Banasura, and he became very angry and rushed to the spot. and he saw there his daughter Usha sitting next to Aniruddha. He became very angry and he ordered his guards. Everyone came and attacked Aniruddha, and Aniruddha was also very powerful. Through his mace, Gada, he killed all the soldiers who came to attack him. But somehow Banasura, who had some mystic powers through his Nagapasha, he bound Aniruddha and kept him captive. So now in Dwaraka, all Aniruddha's, whatever, Lord Krishna, his mother, all of his associates, they were all perturbed. Where did he go? He was just sleeping inside, and next day morning he is not seen. 4 months had passed of the rainy season. There is no news about Aniruddha. They are searching everywhere in all directions. Nobody knows where he has gone. And finally Narada Muni comes there and gives Lord Krishna this message that yes, your grandson Aniruddha, he is held captive in the city of Banasura, Shonitapura. So immediately Lord Krishna, Lord Balarama, along with all of their army, set out to Shonitapura, and they started attacking the city. And Banasura, along with all of his associates, comes out of the city, and there was a fratricidal war which took place between them. And at one point of time, all the soldiers were defeated, and Lord Krishna was about to kill Banasura. At that point of time, it seems Banasura's mother, she was also a mystic. Through her mystic power, immediately she appeared there, naked, without any dress, and Lord Krishna wanted to avert, did not want to see her in that condition. And Banasura, taking that opportunity, he went inside the capital city, escaped from Lord Krishna. And these things are going on. Again he comes out with a huge retinue of army, with his 1,000 hands, with all different kinds of weapons. Just like here we are seeing even Veerbhadra having 1,000 hands. Like that even Banasura had 1,000 hands. With all of his hands he was nicely harassing the army of Lord Krishna. But Lord Krishna released the Sudarshana Chakra and cut off all the hands which Banasura had, except for maybe 2 or 4. And then it is said how Banasura prayed to Lord Shiva for help. So Lord Shiva sent his Shiva Jwara. That Shiva Jwara, that person, he looked like he had 3 heads and 3 legs, fully blazing like fire. The entire army of the Yadavas, they were able to unbearable heat emanating from that Shiva Jwara. And to counteract it, Lord Krishna released the Narayana Jwara, which gave full cooling effect and which was able to subdue that Shiva Jwara. And finally that Shiva Jwara, he came personified, he came and surrendered to Lord Krishna. He offered beautiful prayers and Lord Krishna released him. So this story also just is a recollection how this competition, it keeps going on. Rajoguna, Sattva-guna, Tamo-guna, at different times, different gunas becoming prominent. Ultimately, what sustains or what becomes victorious, it is devotional service. Neither Rajoguna, not at all Tamoguna, and not even Sattva-guna. So Krishna says in the concluding verse of this chapter, 14th chapter, Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitya etan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. By rendering pure devotional service to Krishna, a person will be able to subdue all the 3 modes, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and he will be situated in Brahman platform. So as devotees, we don't get very much, get carried away by the influence of either it may be Brahma Tejas, the power of Bhrugumuni exhibited in the creation of Ribu Devatas, or even the creation of this demon Veerabhadra by Lord Shiva to attack Daksha and all of his associates. But devotees are simply interested in rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, and under whose protection none of these things, whatever, either Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattvaguna, none of these things can become prominent. So we'll conclude with this. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.